What up, though? I say to the audience, boy, Coach Chris, another episode of Coach Chris Chronicles. We like to create opportunities and change history using character, honor, respect, integrity, and substance. Got a special episode today. I got my dog. I done known him for the better part of a decade. We done coached together. I done seen him in his element as a coach, as a father, as a mentor to the youth. My dog, Tim Pendergrass, a.k.a. TP, a.k.a. Coach Tim. How you doing, bro?
Hey man, appreciate it. Great, appreciate it. Hey, love the introduction. Hey, I appreciate it.
How you
Appreciate it,
feeling,
bro.
bro?
I'm feeling great. I can't complain.
I see you dynasty down today.
Hey, you got to protect the brand, man. This is the brand, baby.
So, season just ended. Rocky Top. Heard y'all had a tough loss.
Hey, we took a good L, and if you could say a L, it's good. But we fought. We fought. We left a lot of stuff on the table, but we fought. All in all, great year.
Mm.
Great year. Great year. We loved it. The kids loved it. That's the most important.
What made the year great?
The parents.
What about them?
The parents. Just having a great group of parents and they buy in. When the parents buy in to what you're doing, it makes the season so much better. Getting the kids to buy in is the easiest part.
Yeah. If you just got to focus on coaching, that make everything a lot
It make
smoother.
everything a lot smoother, man. It's just the parents bought in and let us absolutely say, hey, they're yours.
Right,
From 6 to 8:15,
right,
he's yours.
right.
And you got it. It ain't nobody trying to oversee, look over. Oh, man, don't yell at my kid like this.
Right.
It's just, hey,
My son need the ball.
my son needs the ball. He ain't touching it. Well, it ain't.
Right.
Everything was understood.
So coaching, what, you 9 years in?
Man, in.
How many times have you had it to where the parents and the kids bought in completely?
Every year, except for last year. So 1 year with a hiccup, where the parents just, hey, they wasn't going. They wasn't buying. They wasn't,
What happened, bro?
like I said, it was just,
You ain't got to, say no names and nothing like that. But,
I wasn't a cup of tea. Like, I think anybody who know me, the parents that had me, I do a speech every year.
at the beginning of the
At the
season.
beginning of the season. I think you know this. I get
do.
all the parents together and I let them know my expectations, what they should expect of me, and I just let them know. I had parents that got mad because I said I had a gun line. And that gun line, if you don't know out there in the world, a gun line means
Tell them about the gun line, boss.
the gun line is you stay on that sideline over there. All
Right.
this right here is my practice field.
Right,
Don't come across that field unless I say, hey, I need help.
right.
Other than that, you stay on that edge right there. And we gon', the show must go on. But I had people that didn't like that. Like, it was a lot. But the gun line really was shook up a lot of people because they so used to being smack dab. If you turn around, he right there on your side. Like,
Right.
hold on now. Nah, we good.
Yeah.
We good. But that was the biggest thing.
So for those that don't know, who is Coach Tim?
Coach Tim is a father. A father that's first and foremost a father. I'm a friend. I'm a mentor. I'm a lot of things. But at the biggest thing is I'm a man.
Nice.
I'm a man, and that's the biggest role.
Yeah. What even made you get into coaching?
That's funny that you say that. Coaching football, I'm gonna say it was Marcus Harrison. A lot of people don't know him, but he was the one.
OG. Shout out to Coach Mark.
OG, I appreciate him. That man right there. When I tell y'all, he showed me the blueprint. He showed me the blueprint, and it was one of them things where he had knew about me coaching baseball and knew the following that I had with baseball. But it was more so he just kept saying, hey, you need to coach. You need to coach football. You'll be good at it. You and Kenny need to coach. And he just kept on because by then, Kenny wasn't coaching football. Kenny was coaching baseball. I had pulled Kenny in to coach baseball with me. So he was just like, man, why don't y'all transform this over? And we both just kept saying, nah. Like it was one of them things to where when football is so dear to your heart, you don't want to touch it.
Yeah.
And that's what it more so was. It was like, if I'm going to do it, I can't half-ass do it.
Right.
I got to be locked in with
Gotta be all hands on deck.
I got to be all
Head
hands on
first.
deck, and I'm not going to give you half of me.
Right.
If I do it, I'm going to give you all of me, and it's going to be different. It's going to touch different.
Right.
And it was one of them things where they just kept on. And that final conversation, I remember like it was yesterday. Me and Kenny was at a baseball tournament, to be exact. Our boys was playing at a baseball tournament. We down in one of these small towns playing, and we got the call. again. And that's time we were together when I get the call.
Mm-hmm.
I pull Kenny in, and I'm like, man, they still talking about what you want to do. Ken was like, man, I don't know. I said, man, look here. I'm going to do it if you do it. He said, all right, let's do it. We ain't got no coaches, though. Let me deal with that.
Hold on. Before you get into this, a lot of people don't know the dynasty, the inception of the dynasty is synonymous with the RCCT program.
Yes.
So did this phone call that you got have anything to do with the startup
Yes.
of the Crimson Tide program?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
They were starting something different.
Okay, so
It was one of them things where we was at Una at the time. Our sons was playing at Una.
mhm,
So it was one of them things to where we was finna, the shift was coming.
all right.
And that's just what it was. We was upset about our boys. Our boys' years at you know what I mean? Both of our boys was playing at the time.
It's not
Both
what
our
it
boys
used to
was-
be.
It wasn't. Both of our boys were 7. Our older boys
Yeah.
was 7 at the time. And they had the worst 7-year-old experience of football, C-level experience you
Right.
could possibly have.
Right.
I think everything they went through showed me what not to do as a coach. More so say. What I would never do. And that's what did it. And when this call came, it was saying, hey, we got something different going. We need you. What you think about it? And that was the hardest thing. It was the hardest decision ever to do it.
What, to leave you? Or just the coach?
Just to coach. It wasn't no.
I mean, but you did it before with baseball.
I did it before. It wasn't hard to leave because I just came there.
Right.
See, I started at Laverne.
I didn't know that.
See, my son started at Laverne.
Mm-hmm.
He made triple P wheels as a 5-year-old.
To my Jay.
He started. He was the starting quarterback at 5 for Laverne triple P wheel.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I hated it. That's why we left there.
Right, and went to Una.
We went to Una because I got the call. The same thing. I'm getting calls. It's like it's funny you say this.
Hot boy Tim.
Yeah, it's you get that call and it's like, hey nephew,
Yeah.
I'm coaching down here now.
Right. Coach E.
Coach E.
Shout out to Coach E.
Shout out
OG.
to Coach E. Coach E called like nephew. I need nephew. I'm like, nah, man, I ain't leaving.
Right. But you ain't like Laverne. Oh, you talking about?
Yeah, I just didn't want to. I didn't like Laverne, but it was more so I hated Una so much to where it was like,
Bro.
yeah.
Who don't hate Una? If you ain't
That's
play
just
for
what
him?
it
Who don't
was.
hate
You know what I mean? Like, and I felt like,
And you ain't even play against him.
didn't play against them.
So you just a hater for no
I
reason.
had family that played there. They played for Una, so it was like
And they were successful.
they
You
was
couldn't
successful.
stand it
They
coming to
was.
Thanksgiving.
They was
And they flashing them championship rings and them trophies.
absolutely. And it was just one of them
Bragging and
things.
shit.
I was just
And
like,
you couldn't
hell
stand
nah.
it.
But I was like, man, you know what? Let's go down here and let's just practice with them one day. Let's just see it. My son said, yeah, I want to do it, Daddy. Let's try it. And y'all wouldn't be surprised how many people told me that was the dumbest decision ever. Letting my child go to Una.
I mean, with all due respect, Una when you went wasn't the same Una when I played.
But they were still.
It wasn't the same.
That's what say like this. The
It
year he
wasn't the same.
came was the first year Patton was gone.
Like I said, it wasn't the same.
It wasn't.
It wasn't
but
the
it was
same.
one of them things where people was like,
Shout out to Coach Patton though.
man, you better not do it, man. He good, but he ain't that good. He gonna fold. Them kids down there be this, that. And I just told him the simplest thing ever. Hey, I'm gonna throw him in the water. Either he gonna stand up
Sink or swim.
or he gonna sink. What he gonna do?
Yeah.
And he was successful.
All right, so you got the call from Coach Marcus. Did he tell you what Crimson Tide was about to become?
No, he just said we was doing something different.
Now, when he said we, who was he referring to?
It was other coaches that was leaving Una, and they was all coming together. So it was coaches from Laverne, coaches from Una, all came together and they formed this Crimson Tide.
You care to mention them coaches' name?
That left.
That left Una and was leaving Laverne. Well, even though they didn't leave Laverne.
Well, they didn't,
They
it
the
was
same park.
the same park. It was more so, so coaches like Rod.
Who formed this coalition?
So it was Coach Rod, Coach Ty. Them was really the 3 biggest ones if you just think about it. Coach Rod, Coach Ty, Coach Marcus was really the biggest
You don't want to
ones.
say the name from Laverne? I know he had something to do with it.
Yeah, they had it was other people over at I mean at Laverne that had something to do with it. You know
Enough
what I
said.
mean? It was other people that's over
Enough
there.
said. Enough
You know what
said.
I mean? They was
But
over there.
you got the call.
Got the call. And they said,
Come
"Hey,
through.
we doing
You
this.
hit up Kenny. Hey, bro.
Let's do it."
So how did you get Kenny on board?
I told him it wasn't gonna be named Laverne.
I know that was a thing for Kenny.
That was the biggest thing for Kenny.
How'd you get Kenny to leave Una? That's the crazy thing.
Because it was more so he seen what I seen also. He seen the direction that it was going in. Kenny was the hardest part of bringing in. But one thing I told him, it was like, hey, if you bring it in, if you come, we're gonna build it.
Mm-hmm.
But they wanted us, we came in, we finally said yay. We finally said okay, and it was probably like a couple weeks and the season was starting. So if we could have took it early, we would have had the double C.
But you said you needed a staff. How'd y'all figure that part out?
Well, that was the easiest part if you think about it. First, I was like, I need a lineman coach. I knew one.
What was you looking for in a lineman coach?
Somebody that's gonna be dedicated. And I knew he'll be there every day. And I knew if this is something that he wanted to do. This is something that he's been talking about. Like that, he's one of my best friends. So it was like, that was an easy thing. It's like, hey, I got one. Hey, O. If don't nobody know Coach O, hey,
Shout out
big
to Coach
fella.
O.
Shout out to Coach
Big
O.
fella.
That was the lineman coach that we went and got.
So he was the first draft pick.
He was the first draft pick.
You and Kenny.
It was me and Kenny.
But y'all was kind of like CEO, vice
CZO,
president.
we was the, it was,
Okay.
we the owners, might as well say.
Yeah, it was business off top.
It was business off top. We already knew what it was.
So, shout out to O being a first round draft pick. Y'all went with a lineman.
It was never, me and Kenny going to battle to see who was going to be the head coach, who was going to be the, what's the name?
Yeah.
It was more so we just coaching it.
Right.
It just happened the way it happened. But O was the first one. And then boom, I was like, man, I need a DC. Somebody that I know that's going to come out here and just do it.
What you looking for in the DC? What was you looking for in the DC?
At the time, I was just looking for somebody to come.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing.
Somebody that's going to be there.
Somebody's going to be there. Somebody I know that's going to be there. And this is something that I know I've heard them talk about.
Right.
So the fact that I heard them talk about it was like, boom. Hey.
Somebody else you cool with?
Yeah, somebody else I'm cool with. The first thing, the second person we called was Coach Tyrone.
Shout out to Coach Tyrone.
Shout out to Coach Tyrone. I got that call. I called him. He said, man.
What you want for it?
Yeah, what you want for it? He was like, man, I don't know. I like, man, it's something to do. Let's do it. He said, all right, cool. He showed up.
You ain't say how the conversation went with Coach O?
The first conversation
you probably talked to him in person, though, then.
Nah, I called Coach O. I called him. And it was so funny when I called him. The first thing he said was, man, it's funny you called me. I was finna go coach with the Cardinals. He was already talking to Coach Bubba at the time. And he was finna go out there to coach with him.
Yeah.
But when I called him,
you made the right decision.
Once I called him, it changed the whole outcome of that. It was, it was an easy conversation. He said, all right. It was like, all right, I got you. I'll be there. Tyrone the same thing. He said, I don't know, but I'll come.
Right.
Once I knew if I get him there, that's the easy thing.
Right.
So it was just started off as just us four. Us four was the easiest thing. But then practice started. We had this one cat. He came to practice every day. He would just stand to the side and watch us coach. He just stood there every day. He'd just stand there. He paid attention. So me being me, I'm talking to him every day like, man, bro, don't you, shit you here every day. Why don't you come and coach? He like, man, I just like watching, man. I don't know. Man, you come to every practice. Might as well join.
I think he was just there to support and see what was going on.
Yeah.
Because he had nephews and he had a brother that picked up and left a program and something new was starting.
Yeah.
So I think he was just showing up to see what was what.
But the more I seen him go, the more I seen his mind wandering, his ideas is turning. It's turning.
And he had somebody that was in his ear too, by the way.
Yeah.
He had a brother on the staff.
So that helped too. But, that brother being there, I stepped in because I'm going to be in your ear every time I see you. And that was my goal every time I see him.
Tim Finessa, if y'all don't know.
Hey.
Tim Finessa.
Every day. Next thing I know, hey, Coach Chris was for him.
Shout out to Coach Chris.
Shout out to Coach Chris.
Coach Chris
man.
Chronicles.
Hey, it was a lot of pulling teeth, but when he when he finally joined, it was the missing link to the whole thing, man. That was the biggest. I think that was the biggest pickup that all the years that we'd have picked up coaches. That was probably the biggest pickup right there.
Damn.
It's just the pickup of
Tell me more.
it's the pickup another because he come with the drills. He comes with the X's and O's. It's like I feel like with the dynasty being born, every coach brings something different
Definitely.
to the table.
Definitely.
It's like, nah, he's just not no offensive coach. He's not no defensive coach. But everybody brings something to the table, and I feel like that's the biggest thing that helps us.
So who brings what to the table? Like, what does Coach Tim bring to the table? How did you end up being the head coach?
I bring the fact that I don't coach offense. I don't coach defense. I don't coach special teams. I don't coach linemen. I don't coach DBs. I coach. With that being said, a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people who see that, they'll sit back and say, Coach Tim don't do nothing.
Now, Coach Tim know how to talk.
That's the biggest
Coach
thing.
Tim, he know how to talk to the coaches. He know how to talk to the players. He know how to talk to the parents.
I do a lot because I handle everything. I do the talking aspect.
You do everything.
I do everything. It's like I'm gonna help wherever needed at. If Coach Christian need me to go over here and hold this ball, I'm gonna hold this ball. Hold this pad, I'm gonna hold this pad. Coach Tyrone said, I need you to come over here and play linebacker for me. I'm gonna come over here and play linebacker.
Right.
Coach O said, hey, line down and show them how to do this and help me with do this. I'm gonna go do that. I does everywhere that I'm needed, I bring that aspect to that. I'm gonna help somewhere. But my biggest aspect is I'm gonna handle the parents.
So was that natural or is that you just getting in where you fit in?
It was just a natural thing. Mm-hmm. It was just, I naturally know how to talk.
Right.
And that's just, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I know how to talk. You know what I mean? Yeah. I can probably talk myself out of some situations. Talk myself into a whole lot too.
Talk yourself into some shit too.
Talk myself into some shit, but I know how to talk and handle the business of hand. Right. And that's the biggest thing.
So how did Kenny become the OC? Was that a group decision? Was that him just saying I'm gonna take over? I know the answer.
It was a given. Yeah. It was a given. I played against Kenny when he was at Antioch, so I knew of Kenny. It was one of them things where I knew of him. I knew what he brought to the table as far as that element. I knew what he had.
Right.
So it was just an easy no brainer. I know we got the OC.
So you knew that. You knew you was gonna end up being the head coach. Just how you fit in. Knew Kenny was gonna be the OC. You called O to be the lineman coach.
Yeah.
You called Tyrone to be the DC.
Yeah.
How did you figure out what to do with me?
You was the easiest thing to do because we didn't have a running back coach. We didn't have a receiver coach.
I didn't really have a
title.
A title.
But you was the coach of all coaches because you came in and filled in everywhere.
Right.
You assist Kenny with the offense. You assist with the running backs. You assist with the linemen. You assisted everywhere.
Right.
And then the best element was the training. Mm-hmm. We didn't have that at first. You brought in the drill work. Mm-hmm. You brought in the drill work. You know what I mean? Of course, you made us work harder because it was more so you wanted us to have a straight and narrow, more so set stuff. Structure. We didn't have structure.
Yeah.
We still to this day don't have structure.
Yeah.
But we make it do what we do. But we don't have the structure.
We're going to talk about that too.
We don't have that. We don't have that. You know what I mean? I feel like it's just that's the part that we are missing. That we don't have structure, but it looks good.
I'm gonna tell you, like me, I grew up playing football. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look at some of my baby pictures, I got a football in my hand.
Yeah.
Quan played football, Kenny played football. Me being the youngest is natural. I'm gonna gravitate towards football. So me even deciding I wanted to coach, like you said, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be 100% hands-on. I'm gonna be committed.
Absolutely.
And if I'm gonna coach football, I'm gonna take it as a responsibility. What I look for in coaches when I was playing.
Yeah.
Teach them the game of football. Break it down, make it simple so the kid can understand it. So that's what some of the drills came in. That's what some of the terminology. So that's why I can go help Kenny with the offense because I understand offense. I played offense.
Yeah.
I can help Coach Tyrone with the defense. I played cornerback. I played safety. I understand it.
Yeah.
I can help O, with the lineman or just whatever he need me to do just because I understand the game of football.
Yeah.
Some of my best friends played lineman when I was growing up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I understand every position on the field.
Yeah.
From the sideline to inside the hash marks.
The hash marks,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So I understood that. So I just wanted to be a Swiss Army knife.
And you was that.
That's why I
You
tried
was
to
the
be.
biggest. You was the biggest element of it all. It was the biggest. It was big.
Bro, don't gas me up because you're on my show, bro.
Nah, because it's bad too. You know what I mean?
Nah,
You
I'm
know,
playing.
you pissed us off too. So that's another conversation too.
No.
But
Let's
you
get
know,
into it. Let's go and get into it.